All right, folks, look, after looking at that thumbnail, you know what? And I done it a couple of times, you know, really, I'm just gonna show you how my granny used to make it. I'm not finna like overcomplicate it or add all of that to it. So listen, if you're looking to break something, you have something to break that monotony of just making that spaghetti and everything else that you put in a rotation that you make for about every 7 to 8 days. Listen, we finna make meatloaf. We finna do it grandma's way. Let's get it. In every one of my videos, right, I like to go over the ingredients. I at least want you guys to see what they look like. And don't forget, the full ingredient list is on my website. That's smokinandgrillinwithab.com. And that's WITAB.com, right? So listen, what you're seeing is, if I divide this up like this, from these crackers on, this is everything that I need for the meatloaf, and everything on this side over this way, that'll be what we do when we make that sauce, right? That nice, sweet, and then going along with everything else, that makes it sweet and savory. That's what makes this a hit. And then last but not least, let's talk about the ground beef. And you guys know that I always talk about 80-20. Here, I'm gonna tell you 90-10 works. You know, I'm gonna always stretch it a little bit, so I did 85-15. You know, so we can have some, you know, we want it to still be a little bit on the juicy side. With that being said, let's cook. I talked about earlier, like it really being like your, like really like my granny's. Like she didn't have all of that, you know what I mean? Sometimes when I don't put all them ingredients in there, because I was raised on, my grandma said you didn't have to put all that stuff on there. A lot of these seasons that they have out here right now, that's more of a luxury, but you know, we grew up on good food anyway, right? Now, let's go ahead and address this part right here, the elephant in the room. Look, this is Sara Lee's, I call this like Texas toast. They got it right here, but I want you guys to come in here. If you take a look at the thickness of these right here. We're gonna start off by just, you know, prepping, right? So let me just go ahead and cut this down. So then I take it and I just cut it on the webs. I know you guys are probably tired of seeing me do that, but this is for all my new people just trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? And when I say on the web, look, that's what I mean. So look, when I say the web, see how this is what I mean. How this is like that. Now, talk to me, old school folks. How many of y'all's drying these out and getting these ready to plant in your garden? Remember, when you cutting and you're dicing, right? If they're large, it's for the texture and and the flavor. But the main thing is when you start dicing and you're doing them small, it's all about that, you know, that flavor. Look at this, right? And then we come here again. This right here is a good size right here, folks. Now, sometimes I take this and I do, you know, I make the slots down here. And we just come across it just like that. And I give it some good dice. The smaller you get it, put some nice little green flakes in there. Give it a little bit of a flavor, you know what I mean? But this right here is what you want to have. Now the key is to making meatloaf. We don't want to overwork the meat. So we got this right here. I'm gonna go ahead and add everything inside here. Then we just add the rest in here. The W sauce, that's another, whew, boy, that smells good. Listen, we're gonna be looking for 350 degrees. So just at the start, when you guys get ready to do it, once you got all your ingredients out, it depends on how fast you are with getting everything, you know, in here. You wanna go ahead and preheat your oven. That's the 350 degrees, folks. Next, you know what I mean? We break out the press, you know what I mean? And now we go ahead and just hit it, right? Now we come with the eggs, right? You guys come on in here, you can start to see where it shapes up, right? One of the things when you guys come to the website, one of the things that's cool about it is like how I do it like this. Even if you're not coming back and watching the actual recipe, I show you guys step by step what it should look like. You know, just like we put a little bit of time into this to make it right for you guys, right? So you can screenshot it or however you want to. You can cook, have it on the side, look at it, scroll it up, and say, oh, okay, I'm doing everything right. So you can have success, just like Granny did. Now we add that milk. I'm gonna just add it right. Yeah, I'll just put it like this. That'll do it. Now, you know, Rich makes flavored, you know, crackers, right? Now you guys can use panko, whatever kind of binder you want to use, you know, something to help keep everything together. I just like using Rich and the fact that they got different flavor Rich. You know what I mean? I don't know, I'm gonna say you get a little bit of flavor from that, but these are the ones that I had. And just to verify, I got 1 cup. We get in here like this. There we go. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add this. You guys come on and take a look. We just add this in here like this, right? I'm gonna add just a little bit more to it. This may be done, since I got it made anyway. So let me go ahead and get it. Oh yeah, where's the other one at? There you go. And look, as you mixing it, you'll be able to see it. Look at that right there. I can see the onions, the bell pepper. All right, so we got it. Remember, we just don't want to overwork the meat, right? I know I keep saying that because that right there is key, right? So everything is out. Now we want to get the shape that we're looking for, right? So if I take it, right, and we just shape it like a meatloaf. We all got that memory in our mind what it tastes like. I mean, what it looked like. We got a memory in our mind what it tastes like too, though. Right. All right, so this is what we're doing. We're gonna put this in there. Now, I got a little bit of a heads up for you. If you got the time, you can always put this into the refrigerator and let it set for about 30 minutes. If you don't, this works just fine. Usually when I make them, I don't ever even think about that. That's just a little bit of a pro tip for you. You know what I mean? It'll help, but gotta remember this too. The cooler it gets, the longer it's gotta cook to get the inside done right. I'm gonna set a timer for about 45 minutes. We're gonna need a toothpick and we're gonna need a meat thermometer. Make sure the inside is done, the 165, and the toothpick will probably tell us when we're pushing it in there, you know, how does it feel on the inside? Is it done? When we pull it out, we do all of that, right? So either, you can have either or. I got both, folks. And add all of our ingredients. I already put the brown sugar in here. You know, when I bring out brown sugar and I keep it out in the elements, unless you guys put it like in a saran wrap or something like that, you know, it dries out. So I had to like break it all up, you know, just to get it going. Just giving you guys a heads up, right? So everything else that we had, remember how I had it separated? That's how it all goes together, right? So everything is nice and mixed. Now, as soon as my timer goes off, all I do is I pull it out, right? I coat it. You guys got to get yourself one of these silicone brushes and just back and forth, get a nice coating on there. And then you want to raise your temperature up to 400 degrees. Once you have it up, you know what I mean? Then you put it in there and you just want to put it on top. I watch it from here, you know what I mean? I look at it in 5-minute increments. You know what I mean? When I get to 10, you know what I mean? Then I just stay with it, right? So I add a little pepper and maybe just a tiny pinch of salt, you know what I mean? To wake it up, to give it some of that balance. Because I use that Heinz, so it's a little bit on the sweet side, right? All right, now that we're up to 400 degrees, I'm gonna put this in the inside. It's already painted up and ready to go. We put that in, we close this, and we just go. Like I said, it only take about 15 minutes, but at 400, I'm gonna look at it the first 5 minutes. After that, I don't leave it. I look at it. Once I feel like it has set on the top, I take it out. All right, so after you let this cool, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it. Look, I got a serrated knife just to help out, you know, when you're cutting it. You know what I mean? You wanna, you know, be gentle with it. You know what I mean? You don't wanna like just tear it up. You know what I mean? I'm trying to just let the serrate, you know, cut through on its own. You know what I mean? Just like what you guys see. And then I like for my cut to be a little bit on the thick side, right? So we go ahead and get it just like that. Oh yeah, it's nice and moist. All I can think about is, I know some of y'all think about, you know, eating it, but I'm thinking about that sandwich. And I got a little bit of that sauce left too, along with them potatoes, with them potatoes. Come on. Oh, we'll open this up like that. We'll let you guys see that. You see that right there? Ooh, look at that. Is that moist, folks? All right, so now we put this down right here. That's what I'm talking about. Now I'm gonna cut me a little piece because I like for mine to be full. You see that right there? I'm gonna cut a little piece on the back here. We're gonna do a little design work. Then we're gonna go ahead and make some, put some of this sauce on one of these top pieces of bun. If you wanted to know how moist it was, now you guys get a chance to see. Just bring that down like that, because we gotta get some of that sauce. This is my sandwich, folks. And then when you got it like that, now some of y'all are probably saying, I got people in the background, they saying to me right now, AB, put some more, you know, some mashed potatoes. Them cheesy mashed potatoes, by the way, right? Nah, I'm not gonna do that, because I'm finna go ahead and do this. All right, so some of you guys might say that this is like a bit much just for a sandwich, and then I think it's some of y'all out there that say they beg to differ. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go ahead and grab this right here and look at this right here. You know what I mean? Ooh, my goodness. And when I say it's moist, it's moist. You know what I mean? I got to hit y'all with this one, though. This one right here, for sure, is a two-hander. You know what I mean? So, whatever that means to y'all, that's what it is. Hey, you know what? I'm not going to over-talk it. Cheers, y'all. Oh, my goodness. You see all that right there? If I wasn't on film, I'd be getting that all off of there. But don't trip. Hold on, y'all. Now, every now and then I'm gonna make something that, you know, get messy. Like I say, you got to really, you know, get down with it. The whole point was to make a meatloaf just like Granny made it, because she never did miss. Be honest, you ever had your granny's meatloaf and it tastes dry? No sir. This right here, nah, this one is done right. And just the fact that I made this just really for these sandwiches, I saved a few slices. Now, there's people behind there, you know what I mean? I did buy extra. Now we can go ahead and throw them in there so they can eat too. But this one right here got my name all on it. Now, every now and then we gotta wet nap. I already got this ready. I don't know why I did that, because I'm finna dig in. I want you guys to let me know what else could I have done to make this a little bit more like granny, right? This is the way my granny made it, probably the way your granny did. But some of us, you know, we got their mind. We know how to, like, you know, figure out how we can elevate just whatever was working to even take it to another level. If that's you, put it down in the comment section below and let me read it. And maybe next time I'll go ahead, pay homage to you and make it that way. Now, if you're new to my channel, let me take this time to say thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, smash that subscribe button. Tell everybody out there, there's a channel out here to simplify these recipes and taking the mystery out of cooking. You know what I'm about to do, folks. I'm gonna cut this so I can get down here and get messy. Peace.